So upon getting to hear Her Majesty's side of the story, it is now understandable that she wasn't trying to chase Clout. Good day everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the J6 Lover and I am Lover. And today I'll be discussing the episode 5 of The Moment. Has been one reality TV show which has been going on Showmax, and to an extent it's been interesting. It's giving, and a lot of people had a reaction that the Mommy Club is giving what Real Housewives of Johannesburg is supposed to give. But before I go into the conversation, please subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'll always be here to give you the gist. So I also have like a bit of conversation about episode 4 because I could not actually make video for episode 4, but here I will actually discuss a bit of episode 4. And for episode 4 we saw Miss Majesty. Yeah, she had a lot dealing with when she actually had to go. She discussed about her husband's death and a struggle with her children, like having to raise them, having to be like mother to them and the rest. And it's actually interesting that, and a lot of person have been singing praises of Her Majesty for the fact that she had been someone who had been so vulnerable. Is it vulnerable that I'll call it? It's like someone that have been very vocal, that have actually used this show to actually tell a story truthfully, like everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly of her life, her personal life. So that person, like, yes, she's giving what the show really needs to be, unlike others which probably were only just saying a side to their life, and to an extent they are even some part of their life which seem as though it's scripted. So a lot of people have been singing praises of Miss Her Majesty, and initially when those praises were actually going on, I was never saying all of this which people are saying about Her Majesty, but now I actually get to understand that yes, Her Majesty is carrying the show on her head. So that's that for episode 4. She had a struggle with her daughter. They went for therapy, and the daughter also actually spoke about Her Majesty always comparing her with her other with her sister, and that had been something that she do not like, and how our mother will always call her a mistake. So that was one thing that I really got like, no, it shouldn't be like that. But it's funny that parents don't actually, not parents in general, so parents don't actually know when they say some things that are like very sensitive. They don't know how it's affecting these children. They don't know how bad it's eating deep into these children like heart, and how it's affecting them mentally, or any way it can affect them. So for Her Majesty, I feel like if the very first daughter had actually discussed this during this therapy, she wouldn't have actually known that yes, she had always wronged this child by always making her feel like she's a mistake, and it is what it is. And I feel like people should always, probably when they have children out of wedlock, they should not always kind of tag that mistake. No, it's the child is not a mistake, and I don't even think that action of probably engaging in whatsoever led to that sex should be tagged a mistake, probably just because the child was out of wedlock. You had never planned to get married to that person, or maybe it was just like you just want to have fun and you ended up having a child for someone which you never intend to get married to. It should not be tagged mistake, because you intended to do that. You wanted to do that, so but you never planned to have a child. So that's it. So I don't think people should always tag that mistake. So let us discuss episode 5, and it's called the 4 pipes event. So I felt like my own expectation about Ratile inviting the ladies to this event was, I was thinking it would be one kind of glamorous event. So I feel like if she had actually tagged that thing a date, it would have been better. But it is what it is. She tagged it whatsoever she tagged, and I felt with the name that come with it, I feel like probably they are going for one kind of wonderful ride or something, only to see that it's just them going to wine and dine at a mall, and most of them really felt like it was below expectation. Yes, so the event was the tag, and the way the tag, yes, like the tag of the event and the events were like underwhelming. But for the conversation and what was shared at the event, like the conversation and how all of them were able to catch up, was an interesting one and a very wonderful one. And how they actually had to just, it was like a wonderful conversation, meaningful conversation. They discussed a lot. And what's the name? Ratile and a friend tried to introduce them. Ratile's friend introduced herself to the group and all of that. So that's one thing. So prior to this event, I was actually kind of forgot to narrate something that happened. So prior to this event, Miss Manche and Nunurai, actually had they met. So Miss Manche went to Nunurai's house, and I feel like Nunurai and Miss Manche are people who can't keep a secret. They whenever they have a secret, whenever you tell them something, their mouth is always itching them to talk. They always want to speak. They always want to. Once before you start this, oh, don't go around telling people. It is finished. That's when they want to tell people, because I do not understand with their experience with the very first one and how Her Majesty reacted to it. I don't feel like they should still be this way. So when Nunurai and Miss Manche met, they get to find out from Her Majesty that she is engaged to a new man. And we all know Her Majesty's story on the show, how she had always ranted about her husband death. So, and I guess it was barely a year after the death of the husband when this show was filmed. So she actually got engaged, and these people had this opinion that it's quite so early for her to move on or probably get engaged. And for me, I feel like for people like Her Majesty, this is my own opinion on Her Majesty getting engaged barely a year after the death of her husband. If we should think of it and the circumstances that comes with the death of the husband and the story and probably what she was able to discover about her husband after his death, I feel like if it's sensible that she moved on. Because you can, and I feel for her to be in that position, someone who had found out like, oh, her husband was cheating and he died in the arms of his like mistress and something like that. If she should just get approached by someone, some people who are very vulnerable can always be in that situation where they want to find love in the arms of someone else. They just want to move on, and probably getting another man was just a way of moving on from all of that negativity, because that's a lot to deal with. So I feel like it's safe. And for me, I feel like this person who is gone is not someone who was like kind of very sincere to her. It was not with what happened, it was not like a sincere husband. So why can't she just move on after his death so early? Because even when he was alive, he was kind of seeing other people. So I feel like it was not, I don't think anybody should judge Her Majesty for moving on so fast after the death of her husband. And you cannot determine how fast some people, probably the only thing I can not really speak about, or probably I cannot use to justify the reason why these people feel like she's moving on too fast, or this engagement is coming too fast, is probably the culture they have there. Some culture actually make the woman stay for quite a long time before she can actually move on or probably get married to someone else. So for the cultural circumstances, I cannot really define how well people there in South Africa and Johannesburg, or probably whatever culture she holds, or probably the husband has, determine how well they have to stay before she gets married to someone else. So that I cannot define. But if I should speak on the circumstance, how heartbroken she will feel after the death of her husband, and getting to know that this man was cheating, I think it's just safe that she move on so she can just forget everything. Because when you're holding yourself, you're mourning someone, and you realize the person you're mourning was not what, I don't know if you guys are making sense of what I'm trying to say. So that is all I'll be discussing for episode 5 of the Mommy Club. And I also want to say something about Miss Mops. I feel like Miss Mops is a messy person on this show, because she gets to find when people tell her things, and I understand that she's messy. She's tear drama, like she always wants drama around, and it is fine. And I understand probably she was just trying to create content or just wants them to have conversation. So that is that. And I want to discuss about Ratile saying Her Majesty is Clout chaser. So upon getting to hear Her Majesty's side of the story, it is now understandable that she was not trying to chase Clout, because when you're trying to chase Clout, it's probably you're painting yourself. Maybe she was stressed. She just wants to be on the news. And for this, I think it was her trying to make people understand that this person is this, and probably make more people not to fall prey for him, because there's this conversation about tattoo best than the rest and how it was on blog. So I feel, for me, getting to hear Her Majesty's side of the story, I don't think that is Clout, because it's just her trying to reach out to mainstream media, get them to understand like, this is what is happening, and this awareness can actually save a lot of other people from being prey of this person. So which is not, I don't think that is clout. That's not the definition of clout. So people just go around, I feel like Ratile just go around using the wrong term for it. That what she had done is not clout. Yes, it is not. So this is all I'll be discussing for the Mommy Club episode 5. Bye for now. And subscribe to this YouTube channel.